Hey, what's up? It's me making another video again. Want to give my thoughts on Goldberg being the Universal Champion. A lot of people aren't really happy that Goldberg is the Universal Champion. He beat Kevin Owens in 22 seconds at Fastlane. Came out the next night on Raw here in my hometown, Chicago, which I was a part of. I had ringside floor seats, third Raw, Monday Night Raw. Pretty darn awesome. My first time getting floor ringside seats, being that close, which was absolutely awesome. Me and my good friend had the privilege to. As you guys probably saw, I put up my Goldberg entrance video a few days ago, and I've recorded a lot of other stuff. Just haven't had the time to upload them up onto my channel for you guys to check out. But I did record other stuff like Enzo and Cass's entrance, The Undertaker's return, all that. Raw this past Monday night was an excuse me, awesome show. I want to say it was a good show. It was a really good show. Awesome probably wouldn't be the word I'd use, but it was a good show and I had a really good time. Goldberg, new Universal Champion. A lot of people are negative towards this. I am probably one of the very few minority that isn't. First up, everyone knew Goldberg was going to win from Kevin Owens. It shouldn't be a surprise. I think when it was kind of leaked out that Goldberg would wrestle at Fastlane, excuse me, for the title, we all knew it was going to happen, and we all knew it was going to be within short fashion. A lot of people that are... Now, I understand people's gripes complain about Goldberg winning the title. He beat Kevin Owens in 22 seconds. But, I mean, let's be honest here. Did you really think that Goldberg would have at least maybe even a 5 or 8 minute match with Kevin Owens? Not going to happen. Brock Lesnar has been built for years as a beast, a juggernaut, a destroyer, and Brock Lesnar has been booked and built as, like I said, a monster, a complete monster that just causes chaos everywhere he goes. And Goldberg was the only person to beat that monster in 1 minute and 26 seconds. Do you literally think that they were going to book Kevin Owens to outlast Brock Lesnar, who's been booked and built as a bigger star and a bigger deal and a bigger threat on the roster than a Kevin Owens? That you thought Kevin Owens was going to last longer against Goldberg if Brock couldn't? It doesn't make sense to me that people would even think that, and it surprises me. Second, like I said, we knew Goldberg was going to win. I think the way they went about the match, I think, was what really kind of hurt it. I know some people are kind of throwing out, well, how come Brock Lesnar didn't come out and interfere in the match and cost Goldberg the title match? And it's like, are you stupid? You know, for people that thought that Brock was going to cost Goldberg the title match like Goldberg did to Brock 12 years ago against Eddie Guerrero, you couldn't be more wrong. Because if you think about it logically, storyline purposes, think about it. You already have a guaranteed match against a guy who has had your number not once but twice, and also made you look like a fool at the Royal Rumble. Before you face your opponent has a world title shot against someone else at the pay-per-view before he gets to you at the biggest stage of them all. Why on earth, logically thinking, why in God's green earth would you want to ruin an opportunity of your opponent winning a world title and facing you with that title on the line? Why would you want to screw that up? Makes no sense for Brock Lesnar. If you're Brock Lesnar, you want Goldberg to win that world title match. Because come WrestleMania, not only do you get, another shot at, getting your revenge on Goldberg, but now you get to do it with the belt on the line. Now, not only do you beat Goldberg, but you're beating Goldberg with the strap on the line. I'm just saying. So people that threw out that option, just foolish thinking. It really is, because storyline purposes, it makes no sense for Brock to cost Goldberg the title when Brock could get the title when he beats Goldberg at WrestleMania. I know some people also threw out there that Brock Lesnar and Goldberg probably doesn't need the title because they're big enough names in themselves as a draw. I can agree with that, but again, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, like I said, Goldberg's the biggest baby face that they have. And yeah, you can say, oh, well, the fans are starting to boo him and turn on him. Not quite so much. I was there in the Allstate Arena on Monday Night Raw. Goldberg got some boos, but Goldberg equally got amount of cheers as well. Yeah, Chicago chanted CM Punk, but I mean, it's Chicago. We're going to chant CM Punk. If TNA came into Chicago, we'll probably chant CM Punk there. So that goes without saying. So Goldberg got just as many cheers as he was starting to get boos. He got some boos, but Goldberg was not overwhelmingly booed in my city here in Chicago. He got some cheers as well. People were chanting Goldberg, and I mean, I have the entrance video up here on my channel for you to see. People were cheering for Goldberg and chanting his name. I thought it was smart that they did. Now, I think it was smart for WWE to bring out Paul Heyman immediately shortly after Goldberg came out to kind of distract the fans and refocus their attention to him, and then eventually Lesnar, to keep from Goldberg possibly getting that anonymous booing from the Chicago crowd. I think it was great the way they did that. It was smart booking on their part. But I honestly don't have any problems with Goldberg being champion. You know, I think it's funny how some fans would say, you know, Sting should have been WWE champion, or they want to see Kurt Angle be WWE champion, or they want Undertaker to be WWE World Champion again, but Goldberg shouldn't be World Heavyweight Champion, only because he's wrestled less than 5 minutes in his last 2 in-ring matches. Okay, I can understand that, but for you to say that you'd rather, you know, how come Sting and some of these other guys can't be, or, you know, part-timers shouldn't be, but yet you would want to see a Kurt Angle one more time, but when Goldberg, you bitch. To me, I don't understand that. To me, I think it's stupid. It's the hypocrisy of wrestling fans. Yes, both Sting and Kurt Angle don't really have any ring rust. They both had wrestled throughout their years, over a decade at TNA wrestling, and Kurt Angle still wrestling to this day out on the independent scene every once in a while. So there is no ring rust for guys like them. But for Undertaker, he wrestles only once a year. You know, once a year he wrestles. And again, that's still more than someone who hasn't wrestled at all in 15 years, you know, in Goldberg. Totally understandable. But at the same token, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. He's only holding the strap for like the next 3 weeks until we get to WrestleMania, and quite possibly dropping it to Brock Lesnar. So I don't see the big deal. As long as they don't make the main event between these two a squash match, which it could be, I hope they don't. But if they make it a squash match, then that's the problem that I would have come WrestleMania. But, you know, until then, I absolutely have no problem with Goldberg being Universal Champion. I don't think Kevin Owens looks bad in this. I mean, to lose 22 seconds, I'd rather have that than, you know, Goldberg to dominate Kevin Owens and make Kevin Owens look like a fool. And on top of that, Kevin Owens hasn't quite honestly lit the world on fire as Universal Champion as well. Let's be honest about that as well. Kevin Owens has fallen to the scrutiny that every wrestler falls into. The same scrutiny that Seth Rollins fell into in his first championship run. He was a chicken shit heel. Yes, Kevin Owens was entertaining with the things he was doing with Chris Jericho, but to me, I like the prize fighter Kevin Owens. I like the Kevin Owens that was just like a complete bully and just beating up people from NXT. The prize fighter that fought John Cena in the first bout. That's the Kevin Owens I like, and that's the Kevin Owens I had expected to get as Universal Champion. But instead, we end up getting a common chicken shit heel like Seth Rollins was in his first championship run as WWE Champion, and it hurt his reign. Yeah, Kevin Owens, you know, longest reigning Universal Champion, you know, and I thought he wasn't a bad champion by no means. I think he was a bad champion, but his booking as champion wasn't that great either. And like I said, I don't think Owens looks any worse coming out since he lost to Goldberg than before. So All in all, I think I'm fine with Goldberg being Universal Champion. Excuse me. You guys let me know what you think. I want to hear your thoughts in the box below. Do yourself a favor, hit that like button and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I know it's going to be negative because I know a lot of people aren't looking forward to Goldberg or like Goldberg as the Universal Champion right now. So, your thoughts below. Peace.